around China as we get them. We now move on and over to West Asia, where Israeli settlers attacked the Palestinian village of Atara in the West Bank on Friday. Residents report 3 cars were set on fire and graffiti was left on walls. The Israeli military said it is investigating the incident. The Palestinian Foreign Ministry has also condemned the attacks, blaming what it called incitement by the Israeli government. Rights groups say settler violence has risen since Israel's war with Hamas in Gaza began in late 2023. Dozens of Israelis have also been killed in Palestinian attacks, while the military has intensified raids in the West Bank. Around 700,000 Israeli settlers live among the 2.7 million Palestinians in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem, areas claimed by Palestinians for a future state. Listen in to what one of the residents said.
هنا باب الدور في قاعدين احنا والشباب ولاد اخوي واصحاب فيش بين ما دخلنا وروحوا ربع ساعة بس طلعت انا فوق قعدت شوي ولاد اخوي في الدار فوق عن ظهر الطبق الثاني فيش 10 دقايق ما شفت الا الصوت كام هيك زي شي فكع ضربوها نداروا هيك طلع زي رغم نزلنا على الصوت ما لحقت انزل للسيارات مولعات شفت لك هالشوف انا قلت يعني ضربان عقلي شو يولع هنا شوي لابن اخوي بقول لي لو بكي انت بس عم مستوطنينها لحقوهم لتحت تحت لو باكين الساعه مولعين السياره اللي تحتها هم جايين من تحت مولعوا السيارتين اللي تحتها وجوا ولعوا.
We're now joined by Ross Feingold. He is a political analyst and he joins us live from Taipei in Taiwan. Ross, thank you very much for joining us. As we've just read, settler attacks in the West Bank are on the rise. Before we get into some claims by certain organizations and peoples, what exactly do these Israeli settlers want and how would you describe their actions?
They want to change the facts on the ground, no matter the legalities or illegalities of their actions. And they know that no matter what they do, the chances of being prosecuted by the Israeli government is pretty remote. So they continue to carry out these attacks. They want to force Palestinians to move from land, which in many cases Palestinian families or villages have lived on for an extended period of time, literally hundreds of years. But the goal of the settlers is, again, it's to change the facts on the ground, and they know that the risk of any kind of punishment is remote, and this helps expand Israeli settlements in the West Bank, and frankly, it really makes achieving a two-state solution extremely difficult.
Ross, where does international law come into this? Obviously, the settlements themselves are seen as breaking that. However, what consequences does Israel face for violating international law in this regard? We've obviously seen violent attacks from settlers as well. And this also comes with a new announcement that there will be thousands of new settlements, places for Israeli settlers to live between East Jerusalem and another Palestinian village. And Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich has boasted that this buries the idea of a Palestinian state. What are your thoughts on that?
One important factor to keep in mind here is that Israel's most important security partner and most important friend in the international community, the United States, is simply not going to criticize Israel over settlement expansion in the West Bank. Previous administrations have been reluctant to do this. Depending on who the president is, the criticism might have been stronger compared to other presidents. But the Trump administration is not going to criticize Israel over settlement expansion. So really the main variable here is what is going to be the reaction from European governments. The European Union is Israel's most important trading partner. And up to now, we know that civil society in Europe is critical of Israel on this issue. Some members of parliament across Europe are critical as well. But ultimately, European governments up to now have been very reluctant to take any kind of substantive action to punish Israel over this issue. Now, that might be changing because of frustration over the number of civilian deaths in Gaza, over the humanitarian situation and the growing number of people who lack access to food in Gaza, as well as frustration with what's going on in the West Bank. So really the thing to watch in the coming weeks and months is what will the European governments do, especially since more and more of them are recognizing Palestine as an independent country.
Indeed, Ross. Thank you very much for joining us. We do stay with us as we move over to Europe for a flash from our leading story today. A Russian